North Africa falls under the spotlight now as we cast our eyes over the changing face of professional squash.
3 years ago, Worldsport travelled to Cairo, Egypt to meet a young man by the name of Ramy Ashour, who at just 19 was rapidly making a name for himself among the professional ranks of world squash.
Anyone in Brazil can play football, right? I think it's a little bit like here in Cairo, we've got the squashing like in the genes. Most of the juniors, you can see them on court. A lot of juniors on court just doing flicks and nicks and a lot of things, you know. We love to show off a lot of different sort of stuff on court, you know. And that's what makes us special than anyone in the world.
Now 22, Mr. Ashour sits comfortably atop the world rankings, a position he's enjoyed since last December. Egyptians placing among the world's top squash players is not new. In fact, in the past few years, they've come to dominate. Below Ashour in the world's top 10 lie a further 2 Egyptians. In the top 30, their number increases to 9. One man aiming to address that situation is at number 29, 23-year-old Saurav Ghosal.
I think it's a very international sport. You know, if you look at the top 10, there are about, I think there are 3 Egyptians, 4 English, an Australian, 2 French, and then in the top 20 you have Pakistani, Dutch, Malaysians. So it's a very international sport.
In 2004, Ghosal became the first Indian ever to win the coveted British Junior Open Under-19 title. He's since added an Asian Games bronze medal and the Indian National Championship to his CV.
I'm 29 in the world now, and that's the best an Indian's ever achieved on the professional circuit. But I'm sure there's a lot more to come. There's a very good junior program in India at this point in time, which will obviously take some years to bear fruit. There are a lot of good players coming through. Hopefully that will carry on in the years to come and provide inspiration and motivation to a lot of youngsters playing the sport in the country.
Born and bred in Calcutta, Ghosal currently bases himself 5,000 miles from home in Leeds, England, where he trains alongside world number 4 James Willstrop.
James Willstrop won the World Juniors in India in 2002, and I was 16 at the time, and I just really loved the way James played, you know, in the sense very attacking, very free, and I just thought, yeah, right, I want to do this. I want to play like him, and I don't want to be boring and just keep the ball to the back. I want to take the ball in short, move the ball around well, and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else for my whole squash career.
At 5'6", Ghosal is nearly a foot shorter than his English counterpart and can't match him for power, but he's fast becoming renowned on the circuit for his speed and determination. He pushed his good friend all the way when the pair last met competitively at the Canary Wharf Classic in London, and most predict him to raise his game further still in 2010.
Obviously, I want to be top 20 by the end of this year. I think that's a realistic target. If I can manage that, then obviously looking forward, pushing into the top 10. Yes, I've had a few heartbreaks along the way. I'm sure every player has. You just have to learn from them and be stronger. And as they say, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
As a sport, squash continues to fight a well-documented battle for inclusion on the Olympic stage, having most recently been overlooked in favour of golf and rugby sevens. For Ghosal and his peers, it simply places greater emphasis on this October's Commonwealth Games.
It's a massive event for everyone involved. Being in India, it's even bigger for us because it's the first time the Commonwealth Games is being held in India, and I think there's a lot of expectation back home about what we can do and what we can achieve. Leaving France and Egypt aside, you have almost all the big nations playing, and it's going to be hard, there's no doubt about it, but if we can pull off a medal or two, I think that will give people something to cheer about back home, and once you do well, people kind of take to you, and that kind of raises the profile of the sport manifold.
Victory for Ghosal in front of the home fans in Delhi may be just what's needed to encourage a whole new generation into the sport, and perhaps instigate a challenge to Egypt's domination on the world stage.
I think it's possible. We have 1.1 billion people, so if they actually take to it, they're going to be really good. I mean, look at us in cricket. If we can capture their imagination, I'm sure we can have not just 2 or 3 like what we have now. We'll have 20, 30 easily. So let's hope that we can do well and capture that imagination.